Okay. First, Dario, turn off the microphone. Okay, perfect. Good morning. How are you? How are you, Stephanie? How are you, Dario? Please tell me about how are you, Stephanie, first.
We are really fine, teacher. And you?
I'm good too. With many different activities to develop in the university, but I think that it's a good day. Okay. And now, Dario, how are you?
Teacher, good morning, and I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Dario, please tell me about yourself because this is the first class that you have with us. Okay.
Okay, teacher, thank you so much. Stephanie, good morning. Nice to meet
Good
you.
morning.
My name is Oscar Dario Arias. I'm from Colombia, but actually I am living in UAE. I'm 32 years old.
Okay. Now, please.
Teacher,
Yes.
sorry. I return my voice in myself. It's awkward for me. Okay.
Oh,
Profe, hello.
yes. I listen. You okay?
Hello.
Yes. Hello, Dario. Dario, can you hear me?
No puedo hablar bien. Ahorita
Okay,
hello,
Dario. Call me again because I listen you, but you can hear me.
teacher. Hello, teacher.
Yes. Hello. It's very complicated with this part. Okay, Stephanie, we go to develop the class because it's very complicated the class with Dario.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Okay, Stephanie, today we go to about the relative clause, the use of the relative clause. And first I go to fine. The relative clause are characterized by specifying the people, things, or places to which we refer relative clause as subordinate sentence that join the main sentence through the use of the relative pronouns and adverbs. We can apply the next rules. For example, in the first rule, we can apply first the relative pronoun and adverb plus subject plus verb. But in other case, we can find the use of the relative pronoun as subject and plus verb. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, perfect. Now, about the relative, to create the relative clause, we need the relative pronouns. We can apply the use of who. In this case, who, we apply for subject or object. This is a pronoun for people, with which it's a subject or object, but this pronoun is for the animals and things. With whose, this is a possessive, animals and things. In this case, in Spanish, we apply to express cuyo, cuyos, with whom is an object pronoun for people, especially in non-definite relative clauses. In defining relative clause, we colloquially prefer who. In this case, who in Spanish we can apply for a quién, a quiénes, and with that is a subject or object pronoun for people, animals, and things. Okay, do you understand this part, Stephanie?
Yeah, teacher, yeah, I understand you.
Okay, now with defining. Defining, the information is provided in a defining relative clause. It's crucial in understanding the meaning of the sentence. The purpose of a defining relative clause is to clearly define who or what we are talking about. Without this information, it will be difficult to know who or what's mean. For example, the woman who lives in apartment number 34 has been arrested. Si nosotros no utilizamos who, no sabemos hacia qué mujer nos estamos refiriendo. Entonces, por este motivo, nosotros utilizamos quién. La mujer quien vive en el apartamento número 34 ha sido arrestada. Esa es la condición del defining. Now, with non-defining, we use them when there are two sentences that we want to unite and create a single sentence. The non-defining relative clause provides additional information that is not essential to understand the meaning of the sentence. If the non-defining relative clause occurs in the middle of the sentence, a comma is placed before the relative pronoun. And at the end of the, but if the relative occurs at the end of the sentence, the comma is placed before the relative pronoun. With the non-defining is very important because we cannot use that. With non-defining, no. With defining, yes, but with non-defining, we can use that. And the relative pronoun can be not omitted. For example, we can find two sentences. Mr. Jackson's or Mrs. Jackson's lives on the corner. Mrs. Jackson is very intelligent. We have two sentences, but we need to create a single sentence. With this, in not defining, we can apply Mr. Jackson or Mrs. Jackson, who is very intelligent, lives on the corner. In this case, we apply the commas to integrate the two sentences in a single sentence. Do you understand this part?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, now in Spanish. Cuando tenemos dos sentencias, dos oraciones, y queremos utilizarla para crear una sola, lo que hacemos es utilizar el relative noun para unirlas. En este caso utilizamos quién. Quien es muy inteligente vive en la esquina. En estos casos, cuando vamos a dar la información de la primera y la segunda sentencia, tiene que ir diferenciada por comas. ¿Ok?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, now, with who, we can apply who with people. For example, I like the guy who helped me yesterday. Can we translate this part, Stephanie?
Teacher, me gusta el chico que me ayudó o quien me ayudó ayer.
Yes, very good. Now please remake with the second sentence.
Okay, Luis Suarez, who is a soccer player, scored an impressive goal in today's game. Luis Suárez, quien es un jugador de fútbol, anotó un gol impresionante en el juego de hoy.
Okay, very good. Stephanie, what is the difference in the first and second sentence?
The difference?
Yes.
No, I suppose it's a two sentence converted in only one sentence. I suppose the first sentence is the subject, the who makes the action with the the character, principal character, and then we speak about, I don't know, something about him or her.
Yes, very good. In this case, we can find that in the first sentence, it is a defining sentence, because you can find a descriptive information. In this case, el chico quien me ayudó, me gusta el chico que me ayudó ayer. And in the second sentence, we can find that it is non-defining, because we apply the two information to create a single sentence. In this case, we can find that we have comma. For this reason, it's a non-defining. Okay. Now, in the next, please read me and translate me the third sentence.
María has a son who is a doctor. María tiene un hijo quien es un doctor. And I am looking for an assistant who knows about accounting. Estoy buscando un asistente que sepa o quien sepa de contaduría.
Yes, contaduría.
The man who arrived is my boyfriend. El chico, el hombre que llegó es mi novio.
Okay, very good. In this last sentence, we can find that it is a defining, because we can find the additional information. On the other hand, we cannot find the commas. For this reason, it's a definite.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, teacher, could you hear me?
Yeah.
Very good. Yes.
Teacher. Okay, can I participate in this in the class?
Yeah.
But the
Okay.
VPN is working well right now properly.
Okay. Perfect. Dario, can you see the presentation in
Yes.
PowerPoint? Okay.
Yes.
We go with the part of the relative class with the use of who. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now we go to create a summary. Okay. Okay, Dario. The relative clause are characterized by the specifying the people, thing, or places to which we refer. We create the relative clause. We can find two rules. First, we apply first the relative pronoun adverb plus subject plus verb. And on the other hand, we can find the relative pronoun as subject plus verb. Okay?
Okay.
Now, we can find the relative pronouns. We use the relative pronouns to introduce the relative class. For example, with who we apply for people, with which we apply for animals and things. With whose, that is a possessive, we apply for people, animals, and things. In this case, we apply this in whose, cuyos, with whom we apply for people, especially in non-definite relative clause, because in definite relative clause, we colloquially prefer who. In this case, whom, we can say that is a quién, a quiénes. And finally, with that, we apply that for the people, animals, and things. And in this case, we can say that that is que. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, very good. The difference in defining and not defining. With defining, the information provided is a defining relative clause is crucial in understanding the meaning of the sentence. The purpose of a defining relative clause is to clearly define who or what we are talking about. Without this information, it will be difficult to know who or what is meant. For example, the woman who lives in apartment number 34 has been arrested. You apply who para saber sobre qué mujer estamos hablando. In this case, the woman who lives in apartment 34. For the reason we apply who, because it's a people, and in this case, because it's necessary to know who is the woman about we are talking about, okay? Now, with
Okay.
non-definite, we use them to, when there are two sentences that we want to unite and create a single sentence. The non-definite relative clause provide additional interesting information, and that is not essential to understand the meaning of the sentence. If the non-definite relative clause occurs in the middle of a sentence, a comma is placed before the relative pronoun and at the end of the clause. But if the non-definite relative clause occurs at the end of the sentence, a comma is placed before the relative pronoun. With the non-definite relative clause, we cannot use that, and the relative pronoun cannot be omitted, okay? Remember this part. With definite, we can apply that, but in non-definite, it's not possible the use of that, okay? For example, we have two sentences. Mrs. Jackson lives on the corner. Mrs. Jackson lives is very intelligent. In this case, we have two sentences. The way what we can unite this information and create a single sentence is by means the use uh, of the pronouns. For the reason we can say that Mr. Jackson, who is very intelligent, lives on the corner. We apply who to unit the information. And on the other hand, it's very important that you understand that Mr. Jackson, comma, who is very intelligent, comma, lives on the corner. We separate the information by mean a comma, okay?
Okay.
Okay, very good. Now, examples with who. We apply with people. For example, the first, please read me and translate me, Stephanie. The first sentence, sorry.
Okay, I like the guy who helped me yesterday. Me gusta el chico quien me ayudó ayer.
Okay, very good. Now with the second, Dario.
Luis Suarez, who is soccer player, scored an impressive goal in today's game. Luis Suárez, quien es jugador de fútbol, el puntaje, el marcador and and sorprendente gol en el juego de ayer.
Okay, in this case, scored, we can find that it is in a past. For this reason, we can say that marcó an impressive, un impresionante gol en el juego de hoy. Okay?
En el juego de hoy, perdón, sí.
Yes. In the first sentence, we can find that it's a definite because he offered a single information. But with the second sentence, we can find that have additional information. First, that Luis Suarez is a soccer player. And next, that Luis Suarez scored an impressive goals in today's game. For the reason, it is a non-definite because give them additional information, and on the other hand, we can find that it have commas.
Yeah.
Okay, now with the next sentence, Stephanie.
María has a son who is a doctor. María tiene un hijo quien es un doctor.
Okay, very good. Now with the next, Dario.
I am looking for an assistant who knows about account. Estoy buscando un asistente quien sepa acerca de contaduría.
Yes, contabilidad. Okay, now with the last, Stephanie.
The man who arrived is my boyfriend. El hombre quien llegó es mi novio.
Okay, now with this, with who? And now with which we apply with things or animals. In this case, it's very important to understand that in the relative clause, animals is used as an object. For the reason it's considered with which, okay? For example, in the first sentence, Dario, please read me and then translate me.
This is the car which was sold by Marcos. Este es el carro el cual fue comprado por Marcos.
Vendido.
Vendido. Yes, okay. Very good. Now with the next, Stephanie.
María bought me sweets which I always eat. María me compró dulces sí, dulces los cuales yo siempre como.
Very good. With the next, Dario.
We bought a car which is the newest in the store. Nosotros compramos un carro el cual es el más nuevo en el garaje, en el storage, en el parqueadero.
Yes, tienda, okay. Now, with the next, Stephanie.
The shirt which belongs to Carlos is in my closet. La camisa, la cual pertenece a Carlos, está en mi closet, en mi armario.
Okay, very good. And finally, Dario.
The jacket, which I used this week, is dirty now. La chaqueta, la cual yo usé esta semana, está sucia.
Okay, now, give me one sentence, Stephanie, with a definite, and then tell me about a non-definite, taking into account the examples.
So I choose a sentence, for example, and I tell you about what is a definite noun and what is noun and definite. Yeah?
Yes, taking into account the examples.
Okay, so I suppose the first sentence, this is the card. The card is a definite noun and was sold by Marcos is the part noun and definite?
No. Remember that the first sentence, yes, it is definite because we find important information, but when not definite, we find additional information, and for this reason, okay, the first is definite, and for example, in the fourth, fourth is non-definite. Why? Because we can find additional information because the shirt belongs to Carlos and the shirt is in my closet. There are two sentences. In this case, a single sentence. For this reason, it's a non-definite. Okay?
Okay.
Now tell me, Dario, please, what do you think we can apply the use of the definite and non-definite?
With a second example?
Yes, it is a?
It is a definite, a no definite.
The second non-definite.
The second is not definite, yeah.
Okay, the second is definite.
The
The
second,
second is, yes, because, okay, in Spanish. La diferencia. El adicional, o sea, el definir lo aplicamos para hablar una información, una sola información, pero la cual, si nosotros le quitamos uno de los pronombres relativos, la oración queda incompleta. Por ejemplo, este es el carro, fue vendido por Marcos. Si le quitamos el which, pierde sentido la oración. En el non-defining, nosotros encontramos información adicional. Por ejemplo, en la última, la chaqueta, la cual yo usé esta semana, está sucia ahora. Encontramos que la chaqueta, la persona lo usó esta semana y que la chaqueta está sucia ahora. Entonces, tenemos dos oraciones, la cual con el uso del which, nosotros lo que hacemos es unirlas y siempre va a estar utilizando comas. Por eso las podemos relacionar, definite y no definite. ¿Ok?
Yeah, teacher. Okay.
Okay, now with that, we apply that for people, things, or animals. For example, in the first sentence, Stephanie.
I live in the country that I love. Yo vivo en el país que amo.
Okay, very good. Now with the next, Dario.
I practice the sport that I like the most. Yo practico yo practico el deporte que me gusta, que más me gusta.
Very good. Now with the next, Stephanie.
He is the man that I helped last week. Él es el hombre que yo ayudé la semana pasada.
Very good. Now with the next, Dario.
I like the gift that my uncle gave me. Me gusta el regalo que mi tío me dio.
Okay, and finally, Stephanie.
That is the dog that bit me. Ese es el perro que me mordió.
Okay, now with these examples, are definite or not definite?
Definite.
Okay, very good, Dario. Remember that with that we can apply only for definite. In no definite is not possible the use of that. Remember
Yeah.
this, okay? Very good.
Yeah.
Now with whose. The relative pronoun whose is used as a possessive pronoun. It's the possessive of noun who, and it refers only to people. With this possessive, it's important to understand that first we apply whose and then we apply the noun. For example, my cousin has a concert, her talent is singing. How we apply whose? My cousin, whose talent is singing, has a concert today. ¿Qué hacemos? Tenemos dos sentencias. Mi primo tiene un concierto hoy y su talento es cantar. ¿Qué hacemos nosotros con whose? Aplicamos whose en el tema del pronombre posesivo. En este caso, her, for this reason. My cousin, whose talent is singing, has a concert today. Cambiamos el posesivo por el pronombre posesivo whose. ¿Ok?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, now with the next example, Dario.
That woman is very pretty. Her dress is red. The lady whose dress is red is very pretty. La mujer es...
Okay, yes. I listen.
Esa what?
I listen you. Tell me, okay.
Esa mujer es muy bonita. Su vestido es rojo. And I can change the reason. The lady, la mujer,
Okay, yes, the woman or the
tiene el
lady.
vestido rojo, es muy bonita.
Okay, very good. We can find that we apply the use of whose in the possessive, her, and with this chain. Her for whose, okay?
Yeah, her for whose, yeah.
Okay, now with the next, Stephanie.
The car belongs to me. Its engine is very old. Los carros. ¿Quién es el motor? ¿Quién es el motor? Está viejo, me pertenece.
Okay, the next. The cars belongs to me. Its engine is very old. Okay, the cars. Whose, we can say cuyos, or cuyo. The
Just,
cars
yeah.
whose the engine
Just
is
motores.
belongs.
The car or the cars? Es que I don't know, understand that. Well, so the car whose the engine is old belongs to me. El carro cuyo motor está viejo me pertenece.
Yes, very good. In this case, we can apply whose to change the possessive its. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Now with whom, it also refers only to people. The difference with who, which acts as a subject, and this whom refers to who receives the action of the verb. For example, this is Andres with whom we used to go for a walk on vacation. In this case, we can apply, este es Andrés con quien nosotros solíamos ir a caminar en vacaciones. In this case, we can say that Andrés developed the action or receives the action. In this case, because with Andrés, we used to go for a walk on vacation. Ok, en español, now. Utilizamos whom para decir a quién, es decir, nosotros utilizamos este whom para referir sobre quién está refiriendo la acción. ¿Ok?
Yeah, teacher, okay.
Okay, now with the next, Stephanie.
Okay, this is Darío whom you meet at the party last year. Este es Darío o este es Darío con quien tú te encontraste, te conociste en la fiesta el año pasado.
Okay, we can find con quién o a quién. Very good.
Okay.
Okay, now with the next, Darío.
The woman to whom you spoke is my aunt. Entonces, la mujer con quien yo hablé es mi tía.
In this case, you. The
What?
woman, because you say con quien yo hablé, in this case, we apply that you.
Con quien, sí, who you spoke. Sí, con quien yo hablé es mi tía.
Because you say you, I is yo, and you, tú. In this case, the woman to whom you spoke is my aunt. La mujer con quien tú hablaste es mi tía.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now with the next, Stephanie.
Who should I invite to the party? ¿A quién debería invitar a la fiesta? Pues yo. ¿A quién yo debería invitar a la fiesta?
Okay, very good. And finally, Darío.
Natalia Martínez, who you met last month, will be at the reunion. Natalia, con quien usted se reunió el mes pasado, estará en la reunión.
Okay, very good. ¿Con quién o a quién? No hay problema. Okay, this is the use with whom. But we can find relative adverbs. In the case with when, we apply this relative adverbs to refer at an expression. With where, we apply to refer to a place. And finally, with why, to refer to give a reason, okay?
Okay.
Difference between when, where, and why. Remember this part. When an expression, where to a place, and why for give a reason. For example, with when, please read me the first sentence, Darío.
The high school when I studied was less attractive. Esa secundaria donde, perdón, cuando yo estudié fue menos atractiva. The tiny expression is the tiny expression, when.
Yes, very good. Now with the next, Stephanie.
The car arrived when I had called a taxi. El carro llegó cuando yo había llamado un taxi.
Okay, because when is a time expression. Okay, now finally, Darío.
The match ended when the referee gave the final whistle. El partido terminó cuando el referee dio el paso final.
Very good. In this case, when to give the expression of time. Okay, now with where to refer expression of place. The first example, Stephanie.
I would like to live in a place where there are many tourist sites. Me gustaría vivir en un lugar donde hay muchos sitios turísticos. ¿Cites? ¿Ya? ¿Cites? ¿Sitios?
Tourist sites. Okay, sitios turísticos. Very good. With the next video.
I left my notebook in the bookstore where I was reading in the morning. Yo dejé mi libro en la biblioteca cuando estaba leyendo en la mañana. The time expression is what?
Remember that where is of the expression of place. When,
It's a place.
when
Where?
is cuando, where, donde.
Yes. It's a where. It's a time expression. It's a place.
Okay, for the reason, we can say that yo dejé mi cuaderno en la biblioteca donde yo estaba leyendo en la mañana. Okay, finally, Stephanie.
I live in the city where I was born. Yo vivo en la ciudad donde nací.
Very good. And finally, with why, that this is the uses for to give or express a reason. Example, the first sentence, Stephanie.
Tiredness was the reason why I am resting. El cansancio fue la razón por la que o por que yo estoy descansando.
Okay, in this case, the reason that she's resting is that she's tired. But the reason is reason. Okay, the reason. Now with the second sentence, Darío.
My family is the reason why I am working hard. Mi familia es la razón por la que yo estoy trabajando duro.
Okay, in this case, what is the reason?
The reason is why. The reason is I'm working hard.
Okay, I'm working hard. Why? Because about my family. Okay, but this is the reason. Okay, now with the next example, Stephanie.
The work of the people was the reason why I came to live here. La calidez de las personas fue la razón por la que yo vine a vivir aquí.
As you can see, why we can apply to give the reason that we develop an action or yes, but we develop an action. Okay, now we can find exceptions. For example, when the pronoun is the object of the relative clause, the relative pronoun is omitted. For example, do you know the girl he's talking to? We can omit the relative pronoun because the girl is not developed the action. Okay? Now with the next example, read me, Stephanie.
Where's the pencil I gave you yesterday? ¿Dónde está el lápiz que yo te di ayer?
Okay. Now with the next.
I don't understand why we don't use the relative pronoun.
Okay, now with the. Okay, in Spanish. Cuando no tenemos en la oración un sujeto y un objeto, lo que hacemos es omitir el pronombre relativo. Si vemos el último ejemplo, that the horse which kicked me, nosotros podemos eliminar which. ¿Por qué? Porque encontramos que el caballo vendría a ser el sujeto en esta ocasión. ¿Por qué? Porque no tenemos un objeto. Entonces, cuando no existe un sujeto en la oración, el objeto pasa a ser sujeto. Y en estos casos, lo que se hace es omitir el pronombre relativo.
Ok, teacher.
Ok. ¿Entendimos esta parte, Darío?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, now, please read me the third sentence, Darío, and then translate me.
The second or first?
The third.
Third, he's the man. He's the man we met last night. Él es el hombre. Él es el hombre que nosotros nos reunimos la noche anterior.
Okay, perfect. Okay, very good. I give you. Okay, now we go to develop the exercise. Because it's necessary that you understand this part, I go to share this video, that you understand this part. With internet. I have problems with internet since yesterday, okay? What happened with this? Okay, I have problems with YouTube, okay? English grammar. Okay, please go to see this video to understand the part of the. Can you hear or no?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay.
This video contains grammar lesson for the movie course Midnight in Paris. Okay, well, there was this scene in the movie when Inez met her old friends at a restaurant where they were dining with her parents. They drive to Versailles together the day after. Gil said they were locked into a lunch at Brasserie Libre, and then he said this sentence. I actually had a professor that dined there and saw James Joyce. That's right. As you may have guessed, today I'm going to be talking about relative clauses. We use relative clauses to give extra information about something without starting a new sentence and repeating the words. Have a look at this beautiful house. It is very beautiful, isn't it? We have two sentences to talk about this house. I bought a new house. It is very big. We can combine these two sentences using a relative clause. I bought a new house which is very big. In order to make relative clauses, we need relative pronouns like who, whom, which, and that. Please bear in mind that the relative pronoun can be the subject or object of a defining relative clause. If the relative pronoun is the subject, the relative clause can come either after the object of the sentence, and we cannot drop the relative pronoun. Look at this example. Here, we have the relative clause after the subject of the sentence. The people who live in this island are very friendly. As you see, the subject of the sentence is people, and who refers to people, so it is a relative pronoun as the subject. And the relative clause, who live in this island, comes after the subject, people. Look at another example. In this situation, we have the relative clause after the object of the sentence. I sent a package which arrived 20 days later. In the sentence, package arrived later, which is the subject. So which, as a relative pronoun, is the subject of this clause. But in the complete sentence, I sent a package which arrived 20 days later, package is the object. So the relative clause, which arrived 20 days later, comes after the object of the sentence, which is package. Whose is always the subject of the relative clause and can never be left out. It replaces a possessive and can be used both for people and things. Look at this lady standing by this BMW. We have two sentences. The woman is coming tonight. Her car is a BMW. The woman whose car is a BMW is coming tonight. As I've told you before, we can also use whose for things. The house belongs to me. Its roof is very old. The house whose roof is old belongs to me. If the relative pronoun is the object, the relative clause can also come either after the subject or the object of the sentence. But there is a difference here. In this situation, we can drop the relative pronoun if we want to. The university which he likes to apply for is very famous. So as you see, which is a relative pronoun as an object, because the university is in fact an object. But in this special sentence, because we start, the sentence with the university is the subject of the sentence. So the clause, which he likes to apply for, comes after the subject of the sentence, which is the university. We can also drop which and say, the university she likes to apply for is very famous. Look at another example. In this situation, we have the relative clause after the object of the sentence. Sam met a woman who I went to school with. A woman is an object, so who as a relative pronoun is an object. And the clause who I went to school with comes after the object of the sentence, which is a woman. We can also drop who and say, Sam met a woman I went to school with. Please note that if the verb in the relative clause needs a preposition, we put it either at the end of the clause or before the relative pronoun. Look at this picture. The lady seems to be so happy because she has a lot of money. Okay, let's get to the sentences. The job is well paid. She applied for the job. The job which she applied for is well paid. So as you see, the preposition for comes at the end of the relative clause which she applied. We can also say, the job for which she applied is well paid. So for, as the preposition, comes before the relative pronoun which. That's all for today. Now it's over to you. Practice using the relative clauses by following the links provided.
Okay. Are you clear in this part, Stephanie and Dario?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, now we go to watch a video when I like that you listen and find sentence with the use of relative clause, okay?
Who's the young woman sitting over there?
Do you mean the woman wearing a red dress?
Yes, the one who's eating wedding cake. I don't think I know her.
Oh, that's the bride's sister.
Ah, is she the sister that lives in Scotland?
No, she lives in London. It's her brother who lives in Scotland. He's the man wearing a kilt. Their parents, who are retired now, live in Spain.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Jones, who I was sitting next to at lunch, was telling me about the house in Spain.
No, Grandma, you weren't sitting next to Mrs. Jones. That was Mrs. Taylor, who used to live next door to us.
Oh, well, she has a house in Spain too, which is why I got confused.
Grandma, who's the lady putting lipstick on over there?
Oh, that's Mavis. She's the girl I went to school with all those years ago.
Oh, yes. I've seen the photos Mum and Dad have at home.
Oh, by the way, who's taking photos of the wedding?
The photographer. He's over there.
He used a flash, which I hate. I always have red eyes.
Don't worry, Grandma. All the photos taken with that camera will be good. He's a top professional. Grandma, who's the boy talking to your friend Mavis?
Oh, that's her nephew, whose parents live in South Africa. But he lives in London with Mavis. He goes to the school where Mavis and I were students many years ago. Oh, look, he's coming over. I can introduce you.
Okay. Please, Stephanie, tell me about a sentence or expressions that you can find in the video with the use of relative clause.
Okay, teacher. For example, the girl who is eating a cake live in London.
The girl.
The girl who is eating a cake live in London.
Okay, very good. Now, please tell me, Dario.
Her uncle, her cousin, her cousin who lives in Scotland.
Okay.
Is dancing with the boom, something like that.
Okay, perfect. Do you find other, Stephanie?
Well, teacher, I don't remember. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, yes, in the expression you can find different use with who, with which, for example. In the expression, is she the sister that lives in Scotland? We can find that apply that. In this case, ¿es ella la hermana, es ella la hermana que vive en Scotland, Países Bajos? Entonces, we can find that we apply that. What other we can use in this case? She has a house in Spain, so which is why I got confused. In this case, we can find the use of which. Ella tiene una casa en España también, por lo cual la razón por la que yo me confundí. In this case, we can find it with which. Now, we can also find the expression that her nephew, whose parents live in South Africa, but he lives in London with Mavis. Ella es su sobrino o su sobrina, quienes los papás viven en Sudáfrica, pero él vive en Londres con Mavis. Okay? Okay, now we go to develop the practical activities. And in this case, can you read? Stephanie and Dario, can you see the screen?
Not so well, teacher. For example, I can see eraser. How do you say borroso? I suppose it's a problem of the network.
Oh, okay, Dario, can you watch it a good way the screen?
No, it is so teacher. The imagine is some. No. I cannot read very well.
Okay, give me a moment.
I am opening by my mail. Okay, is the practice, yeah?
Yes, it's the practice.
Is the practice? Is the practice? Practice 2?
Yes, it's the practice. The practice 1, I remember. Yes, practice 2.
Okay. The first sentence is a castle is a place. Yeah. A castle is a place. Okay.
By the chat, I send the link. Please, Stephanie, if you can open it in the computer.
Yeah, teacher.
Okay. Okay, in the first expression, Dario, what is the correct pronoun? Okay, or for the relative adverb.
A castle in a place where a king or a queen lives.
Okay. Why do you think it's the usual word?
Because it's in these sentences we are talking about a place.
Okay, very good.
Place. This is a place. These are referred for a word. That for a places is where a word.
Okay, yes, very good. Now with the second, Stephanie.
An actress is a woman who plays in films or theater plays.
Okay, what do you think? You can use the who.
Who, because it's a person, an actress. So I suppose
Okay.
this is an explanation.
Yes, that's right. Okay, number 3, Dario.
This is the girl um, whose mother is from Canada. Canada.
Okay, now explain me
Esa es
why
la,
do you think is the use of whose?
because in these sentences there is a girl, and there is two person in these sentences, and and this is the other person is the mother, who is from Canada.
Okay, very good. Yes, because we apply whose to change the possessive. In this place, we apply the use of whose to speak about the mother of the girl. In this case, we apply whose. Very good. Cuya madre es de Canadá. Very good. Number 4, Stephanie.
This is the time of the year when many people suffer from hay fever. Yeah.
Okay.
Esta es la
What
época
do you
del
think?
año. When, because we're talking about time. When you use years in time, so I suppose the relative clause, web adverb, is when.
Okay, very good. And finally, number 5, Dario.
The flowers which grown in the garden are beautiful.
Okay. Can you explain me why do you feel? What do you think use of the which?
Which because flowers, in these sentences uh, the flowers are the noun, and the bird is grown, is which, because there is an action in these sentences
Okay.
about the noun and verb.
Okay, and remember that we can apply which for things, and in this case we can say that the flowers can be considered an object, flowers thing. Okay. But yes, that's right. It's a which. Okay. Now,
Yes,
I go to present the expressions, and I need that you tell me about if you think that is necessary the use of the relative pronoun or it's not necessary. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
First, with the first expression, Dario. This
what?
is the number one of the 2 steps. Decide whether the relative pronoun is necessary or not.
In the second, decide the word. What exercise? The same?
The same, but with the 2 steps. But in the when you can read the said whether the relative pronoun is necessary or not.
Okay. The picture that it is not necessary.
Okay, this is not necessary. What do you think is not necessary?
Because this is the picture. Because it's not necessary because there is an action by the same sentence, but in these sentences we are talking about the same object. The object is a painting, is a action for Jane.
Exactly, yes. Because we have Jane is the subject, but the object is the picture. But the difference is that the Jane developed the action. For this reason, is not necessary. Okay. Now with the number 2, Stephanie.
Do you know the man who is speaking on the phone? I consider is a relative pronoun is necessary, teacher, because there are two sentences or the information too, and the following but a verb. So I consider it is important to refer to the subject. For example, ¿conoces al hombre con quien está hablando por el teléfono? ¿Tú conoces al hombre con quien está hablando por el teléfono?
Yes, that's right, because it's necessary the use of who to know about what person it's express the sentence. In this case, the man. Very good. Now with the number 3, Dario.
3. We ate the sweets which my mother had bought. This is not necessary. This is not necessary, teacher.
Okay, very good. Not necessary. Okay, very good. Number 4, Stephanie.
Is this the boy who plays piano? I consider this a pronoun is necessary to teacher. El chico,
Okay.
el chico who, quien está haciendo la acción después del verbo. Entonces, so I consider it's important to the relative pronoun who in this place to join the two sentences.
Yes, that's right. In the third, for example, with Dario, yes, that's not necessary because we know that the mother is the person who developed the action, and in this case, my mother is the subject and the sweets are the object. But in this case, the mother is the people who develop the action. For this reason, it's not necessary. And now with the fourth, it's necessary to use who because we need to know who is the person who developed the action. In this case, the boy. Okay. Now with number 5, Dario.
This is the house that were. This is the house was broken into. This is the house that was broken into. I consider that sentence is a necessary. It's a necessary because there are two actions in this sentence.
Yes, it is important. Yes, that's right. It's necessary. It's necessary because we need to understand the expression and we can find in this case the subject is the house. It's important because we need what is the action of the reason we apply that. Okay. Yes, very good. Now, with the next step, complete the sentence using a relative clause. Tell me about the first expression, Dario. How can you create a sentence?
Complete the sentence using relative clause.
Yes.
Okay, Catherine and Sue are two girls who are playing.
And in this case, we can find the other information in parentheses, like dance.
Okay.
Okay. Catherine and Sue are two girls who like dance. Very good. Number 2, okay. Stephanie.
Okay, teacher. So I consider is my mobile phone is something which is very important to me.
My mobile phone is something.
Yeah, which is very important to me.
Yes, very good. With which, because it is a thing, an object. Okay, very good. In this case, is which. Very good. Number 3, Dario.
Number 3, Anthony is a friend of my Anthony is a friend of my. Can I use Can I use who live?
Who?
Hello.
Yes, very good. Yes, I listen.
Who
And
live in
who live in
what?
Boston? In this case, yes, very good. Who live in Boston? But remember that with this person we apply who lives in Boston because it's Anthony. Okay, very good. But the relative clause is good. Who? Okay, with the number 4, Stephanie.
West Side Story is a musical which is very famous.
Very famous. Very good. Right. And finally with number 5, Dario.
An apiary is place. A place is a tiny is a place where
Where?
an apiary is a place where the planes live.
With Plainsland. With Plainsland. Okay. Yes, they use good where because it is a place. Okay, now I need that you create this the last part with the use of the relative pronouns, but with a contact class in this case. I have to explain the first expression. The car we bought last week is blue.
It's blue.
Okay, in this case we can find the use that we don't use the relative pronouns. No, we only create a sentence, but with the we left out the use of a relative pronoun. No, for example, we can find the car we bought last week is blue. There are two additional information, but we cannot use the relative pronouns. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, with the number 2, Stephanie.
Okay, so the girl is a singer. We met her at the party. So maybe the girl we met at the party is a singer.
Very good. We can apply the relative pronouns and the answer is very good. The girl we meet at the party is a singer. Very good.
Okay.
Number 3.
The bananas are on the table. George bought them. The bananas George bought are on the table.
The bananas your bought are on the table. Very good. Yes. Okay, number 4.
Yes, the bananas that George bought are on the table.
Because we cannot apply the use of the relative pronouns. The use is that we can create with without the relative pronouns. For the reason we cannot apply that. Okay. But this reason is the banana George. We can use that, but in this case we can create with the use with not the use of the relative pronouns. The George.
But
On the table. Okay. Now with the number 4, Stephanie.
Okay, so I consider is we watched a film last night. It was really scary, and so the film we watched last night was really scary.
Very good. The film we watch last night really very good. And finally, number 5, Dario.
I had to learn new words. They are very difficult. The new words I had to learn are very difficult.
Very good. Yes. Words
Right?
I have to learn.
Wow.
Very good. Okay, now we go to develop the production activity. You can see the image. Stephanie and Dario, can you see the image that I present in the Word?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, now give me number two image. Choose two image. Stephanie, choose two image and create a sentence with the use of relative clause.
Repeat, teacher. I can't hear you. Sorry.
Okay. Stephanie and Dario. Okay, first Stephanie, choose two image and create sentence with the use of the relative clause.
Okay. So I choose number one and number, I don't know what number is that. In the house. Number two?
Number two, okay, in the house. Okay, now Dario, choose image.
But the relative, what teacher?
Choose two image. In this case, number one and number two was choose by Stephanie. I need that you choose two image, number three, number four, or number five to create sentence with the relative clause. What do you choose? Number three, number four,
Okay.
number five.
Number number two is a house. Is this a house? Yeah.
Yes, but it is choose by Stephanie. You have the opportunity with number three, number four, and number five.
Okay. Number three and number four.
Number three, number four. Okay. Create sentence with the relative clause. Do you need time to create the sentence?
Yeah, teacher. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. Dario, how many time do you need?
Yes.
2 or 5
Right.
minutes?
But sentences?
Yes.
No, 2 minutes too. 2 minutes
Okay.
too. So,
Okay. See you in 2 minutes. Okay. Take your time.
only can I use the relative clause? Yeah.
Yes, with the use of the relative clause.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, teacher, I'm ready.
Dario, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. First, Dario, give me the sentence.
The family who was traveling in their car is enjoy the scene.
Okay, perfect. With who? Okay, now this is for the image number 3. Okay, wow. Oh, number 4. Okay, give
The
me the
car,
other sentence. Okay, who with number 4? Oh, number 4. Now give me the other sentence, Dario.
okay. The family, the family which are in the mountain, which are in the mountain. Their car is not working.
Okay. You apply the image number 3, number 4. Okay, yes, and I find that it's not defining. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not defining because you apply this. Now, give me, Stephanie, your sentence.
Okay, teacher, for the picture number 1, I
Okay.
write, the woman who wears the black dress sings beautiful.
Okay, the woman. Yes, with who? Okay, perfect. And they give me the next sentence.
Okay, number 2 picture, so is my uncle bought a new house, which is large and very luxurious.
Okay, perfect. With which and is not defining.
Yeah.
Number very good. Okay, now we go to develop the next activity. It is in work. Can you read the document?
No, sorry, teacher. I suppose they say the student must. I can see well.
Can you read or not can you read?
I can't read, teacher. Sorry, I cannot.
Okay. Now, I send you by the chat the information and you can me the how you can create the use of the relative, okay, with a non-definite. Okay, the Stephanie, read the sentence that the information that I sent you by the chat, and
Okay.
please create with non-definite.
Okay. Colombia is a very nice place. Colombia is located in the South America.
How do you
So,
create the sentence with non-definite now? Okay.
okay, so Colombia is a very nice place, which is located in the South America.
Yes, we can apply that, but we can, the important is that you apply which next with the subject for this reason. For example, Colombia, which is located in South America, is a very nice place. Or Colombia, which is a very nice place, is located in South America.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, now, Dario, can you read the document in Word?
Okay. Yeah. B.
Yes, number,
B
yes,
sentence.
B. Sentence B, yes.
Luis lives in Germany. Luis lives in Germany. Luis work in a hospital.
Okay.
Luis, who lives in Germany, work in a hospital.
Yes, very good, with the use of who. Now, you tell me, Luis,
Luis, who lives in Germany,
money,
Germany,
worked, worked
Germany,
in a hospital.
in a
Okay,
hospital,
very good.
lives
Number Sí, just that's right, Dario. Very good. Okay, C. With the C, Stephanie. I sent you by the chat.
Okay.
How do you create the sentence, Stephanie?
Okay. Carla's sister, who has just passed the university exam, is 19 years old.
Yes, very good. We can apply Carlos. Carlos' sister, who just passed the university exam, is 19 years old. Or we can apply to Carlos' sister, who is 19 years old, has just passed the university exam. Yes, that's right.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, number. Okay, D with D. Dario.
Laura moved to France last month. Her husband is French. Laura, whose ha- Laura, whose no, Laura moved to France last month. Her husband is French. Can I use the place and can I use the noun clause for a place? Where?
Because we can apply the use
Teacher.
of the possessive.
Okay. The possessive. Okay. The Laura's husband.
The Laura's, but
Will,
when you apply the use of the possessive, remember that we change her for the other possessive. What?
Laura's husband.
Laura's husband.
Laura's husband. Yes. Who live. What?
Remember this part, Dario. When we have a possessive, we can use whose. Remember this part? That we can his,
Yes.
her, its, we apply whose. And in this case, Laura whose.
Laura who lives. Laura who moved.
Remember what we change whose for her in this case.
And the sentences for this case is her husband. Is
Yes.
The Laura husband.
But in this case, Dario, we can apply it. Okay, in Spanish. Recuerdan que dijimos que para whose lo utilizamos para el posesivo. En este caso tenemos un posesivo, en este caso que es her. Entonces, Laura
Sí.
whose husband.
Laura whose husband is French. Whose husband is French.
Moved to French.
Moved to French last month.
Yes, exactly. Because we can change her by whose.
Yeah.
Okay, now finally, Stephanie with E. I send you the sentence by the chat.
Okay, teacher. Okay, Ferraris which are made in Italy are very expensive.
Are very expensive. Yes, very good. That's right. Okay, now we go to create a sentence. Give me a moment now, which is located in America. It's a very nice. Okay, very good. Now, who is Carlos' sister? Sister who is 19 years old. Just passed the university exam. Okay. Okay, now we go to develop the last part of the class, the assessment. In this case, can you read the sentence in the computer, Stephanie?
Yeah, teacher.
Can you see the image of the screen?
No, teacher, sorry.
Okay.
But
I go to
I
send.
can open the link.
Okay, yes, I send you by the chat the link. Okay, no problem.
The assessment, teacher?
Yes, assessment. I send you the link by the.
I have the link, teacher.
I send you by the chat the link. Okay.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Tell me when you are ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. Number 1. Dario. Choose the correct relative pronoun. Number 1.
The car. This. Sorry. This is the man. Yes.
Yes.
This sentence.
Yes, very good.
This is the man. This is the man who built our house.
Very good. Who? Because it's a person. Okay. Number 2. Stephanie.
There is a bridge which we have to cross.
Which? Because it's a thing. Okay, very good. Number 3. Dario.
The girl who lives next door is very nice.
Okay, very good. Number 4. Stephanie.
La mujer que vive.
Okay, so number 4, the bus which takes you to the station should be here any minute.
Okay, the bus, which, yes, because it's a thing. Number 5. Dario.
Okay. This is the dog which dark every night.
Okay, very good. In this case, we apply which because in the case of the animals, we can use as objects. For this reason, yes, that's right, is which. Now, in the next sentence, I need that you say me it is necessary or not necessary and why. Okay, number 1, Stephanie.
This is the ring that I found yesterday. I suppose it's necessary, teacher.
In the number 1 necessary?
Yeah. Oh wait, let me understand. This is the ring that I found yesterday. Oh well, maybe we can say this is the ring I found yesterday. So no, not necessary.
Yes, very good because in this case the subject is height and I is the subject that developed the action. For the reason is not necessary. Very good. Number 2, Dario.
Do you know the man that is speaking with N? Do you know the man? It's necessary
Okay, why Dario?
because this is a question where the man is doing an action with a object.
Okay, very good. In this case,
In this
is
case,
necessary because we
and
need to use that to know about what mean we go to develop. We go with speaking, and this is reason it is necessary. Okay, very good. Okay, number 3, Stephanie.
Okay. I still have the books that you gave me. It's not necessary needed to teacher. Because, for example, you can say, I still have the book you gave me.
Yes, very good. Perfect. Number 4, Dario.
is this the woman that lost her purse? Purse. This is the woman that lost her purse. It is necessary. It's necessary.
Okay, very good, Dario. And finally, Stephanie, number 5.
Okay. Is this the key that we were looking for? It's not necessary to teacher because before there isn't a verb, so there's no action. So only we can say is this the key we were looking for.
Okay, very good. Okay, with the next step. Stephanie, in the next step, how do you create with the use of who or which?
Okay. A Dutch is a person who live in Netherlands, something like that.
Netherlands, okay. But remember this part, when it's third person, we apply who lives.
Yeah, sorry, teacher lives. Yes.
Okay, with the next, Dario.
A giant. A
Giant.
giant is a someone. A giant. Yes, a giant is a someone. A giant is a someone who is very tall.
He is very tall. Yes, that's right, very good. With number 3, Stephanie.
An alarm clock is a clock which wakes you up in the morning.
Wake you up in the morning, very good. Number 4, Dario.
A ladybird is a red beetle, which which uh, which has black spot on his back.
Have black spots on its back. Yes, very good. Number 5, finally, Stephanie.
A waitress is a woman who serves food and drinks in a restaurant.
Drinks in a restaurant. Okay. Okay, perfect. Very good. And finally, I need that you create a sentence, but without the relative pronouns.
Okay.
Write the sentence, but forget the use of the relative pronouns. Without the relative pronouns. Number 1, Dario.
Relative pronouns. Okay. I
With,
watched a film last night. What?
without the relative pronouns. Forget the relative pronouns. Without the relative pronouns. Sin el uso de los relativos pronombres relativos.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, with that. Okay. I watched a film. I watched a film last night. The film was interesting. Mm, the film, I watched last night was interesting.
Last night was interesting. Very good. With number 2, Stephanie.
Okay, teacher. Say, Carly helps a man. The man is my teacher. I don't sure, but I suppose is the man Carly helps is my teacher. Maybe.
Helps is my teacher. Very good.
Okay.
Number 3, Dario.
We ate chicken at the restaurant. I was delicious. The chicken we ate at the restaurant was delicious.
Restaurant was delicious. Very good. With the number 4, Stephanie.
The boy is very nice. I know him from school, so I suppose he's the boy I know from the school is very nice.
No, I'm not from. Okay, not from. And not from school is very nice. Okay, very good. And finally, Dario.
The shoes are too big. My grandma bought them for me. And the shoes my grandma bought for me are too big.
Very good. My grandma bought for me. Yes, very good. Okay, this is the final of the class. As a homework, I need that you create a small history, at least 5 lines, using the relative clause. And when you present this task or this homework for the next class, okay? In this case, it is for the October 15. Don't forget it. I need that you create a small history with the use of the relative clause. Okay, Dario and Stephanie, how do you feel with the class? Do you have advice or do you like the class? Tell me, Stephanie.
Well, I consider that this topic is a little hard, but maybe we need only practice and more practice. Teacher, sorry, the homework is create a small story of 5 lines?
Yes, it's a small history. It's not necessary that you create a large history. No, it's
Okay.
a small history, but with the use of the relative clause.
Using relative clause. Okay, teacher, thank you.
Yes. Okay, Dario, how do you think with the class? Do you have advice or do you think that it's good?
In the class, teacher?
Yes. How
Hello,
do you
teacher.
feel with class?
Teacher,
Yes, I listen.
what do you feel what, teacher? I don't
Do
understand.
you like the class or no? Do you have advice with the class, with the next class, or I like to know how did you feel with the development of the class?
Okay. No,
Okay,
I feel very well in this class. I don't have any advice for this class. I consider it was very well and good practice with you and my classmate, Stephanie. Thank you so much, teacher.
Okay, very good.
Teacher
Okay,
like to-
Dario. Okay, Dario. Okay, Stephanie. See you in the next class. It's in Tuesday 15 at the same hour. I know that in the next I would like to improve skills, but with the listening. For this reason, I go to try to develop activities with listening. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Have
Bye
a
bye,
nice
teacher.
day.
Bye
Okay,
bye,
teacher.
Dario.
Okay, Stephanie, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Okay,
Okay.
bye
Have a
bye.
nice day.